here we go. Let me get the video in front of me. Today we're going to talk about what you may not realize about failure. Okay, you guys? Let's see. I love talking about failure, which sounds like totally crazy because I imagine people are like, what? Why would you enjoy talking about failure? The reason why, you guys, is because if you're not failing, you're not doing anything. If you're not failing, you're not moving forward in any capacity, you guys. First of all, if you are watching this on the YouTubes, do make sure that you click on the subscribe button and also the bell so you get notified when new videos come on, okay? If you are watching somewhere else at the end of the video, if you dig what I'm talking about, then go over to YouTube, click on the subscribe, search my first and last name, click on the subscribe button and also the bell so you get notified when new videos come on. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and chat. Let's have a chat, okay? One of the things that paralyzes most people at the very beginning, maybe even before they try something new, is the thought that they could fail. Okay? Let me tell you something. If you're not failing, you're not doing anything. Okay? The way that we look at failure is what needs to change, okay? The way people have looked at failure before today, right now, the way that they've looked at it before is that it was some sort of end all, right? Some sort of decree from the universe that you don't win and that you never ever will win at anything if you don't win the first time. That could not be any more false and is actually the opposite of true in any way, in any capacity, you guys. Do you think that whenever I started out on my journey of what we're doing here 10 years ago, do you think I won immediately? Do you think I figured it out immediately? Or do you think I tripped on my shoelaces a few times to realize like, oh, right? Here we go. If I would have stopped when I tripped on my shoelaces the first time, you guys, I wouldn't be here right now to talk to you about it and to show you the way. All right? If I had just stopped and been like, oh man, that is so embarrassing. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I thought that thing was going to work and then it didn't work. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing. I need to just go back to what is familiar and just, that's just going to be my life. No, that is not what I did. That is not what I did. I was like, okay, cool, so that didn't work. All right, so let me figure out a way that does work. Let me try this other thing. All right, that didn't work. Let me try this other thing. All right, that didn't work. Okay, let me try this other thing. Oh, there it is. That works, right? And that's what I'm sharing with you guys now is the stuff that works. But you guys, at the end of the day, concepts, you will have what can be looked at as failure by some people as concepts. But here, let's talk about what failure actually is, okay? This is not from me. This is from, I think it's called the 5 a.m. Club, all right? Is a book that I consumed recently. For you guys that don't know, I consume about 3 books a week. So this was like last week, maybe the week before. Failure is just growth in wolf's clothing. Write it down. Failure is just growth in wolf's clothing. So what does that mean about not failing? Anybody? What that means about not ever failing is not ever growing. Okay? So if you want to grow as a person, which you need to do, right? I mean, we should, in my opinion, be continuously growing as people. Then that requires what some people see as failure. Okay? And failure, let's really define it. Because we've got this whole world around failure and we're like, oh, that like failure means that that you did something wrong. Failure means that you tried this thing and then you look like an idiot. That's what failure means to a lot of people. What failure means to me, and what I really believe we should look at it as, is an opportunity to illuminate a better way to do something. It's good, okay? It's good to be able to see like, okay, so that didn't work as well. Turn around, illuminate the things that could work better. Illuminate the vulnerabilities. You guys, as we're growing as people, as we're growing our income streams, as we're growing our family security, as we're creating these communities and worlds, right? As we're doing that, you guys, we need to be able to illuminate vulnerabilities. And you shouldn't look at vulnerabilities as something that's going to stop you. Illuminating a vulnerability, looking at it square in the eye, giving it a wink, and being like, okay, I got you, right? Illuminating a vulnerability and doing that, you guys, is what people that change the world do, okay? People that look at a vulnerability and are like, okay, I think we could do better. And then you do, okay? So you may be watching this right now and you're like, that sounds cool and all. I have no idea what you're really talking about. And I don't know how I'm going to illuminate a vulnerability and then make it better. You guys, you're not going to right away until you're being faced with one. And then that's where you allow the solution to come in. Okay? That's where you surrender the solution. Surrender needing to know / understand the solution. Allow the actual solution to come in. Okay? And then you move on from there. So you can't, from the outside, if you knew the end of your path whenever you're starting it, you never would have started it. If you knew everything that was going to happen to you along your journey, you never would have started your path, because you would have thought, I don't know if I can make it through all of that stuff. But I'm telling you right now, when you only deal with it every once in a while and it pushes you along and you're growing the entire way, and then you get further in the journey, you look back and say, man, that's awesome. I love how all of these things happened. Also, I love where I am. I love how I get to serve. And I love that all of this has led up to that. These are things you have to understand about your journey. Happy Monday, friends, right? These are things you have to understand about it. You cannot just look at what you're about to do and think, it's going to be easy breezy, no big deal. This is going to be super easy. You guys, if it were easy, everybody would do it, okay? 90, let's say 5. I'm just pulling this stat out of thin air, but I feel like it's very true. 95, let's say that, % of people that start to do a thing drop off at the first sign of failure. Or what we can call it, which is the first sign of growth. The first place that they're able to grow as people and evolve and stretch and become a new and better version of themselves, that first time most people fall off. And it's because it's hard. It's not hard. It requires a new and different version of yourself. That's not hard. It's growing. And it's a good growth. You're going to look back on it and be like, man, I'm so glad I did that. Yeah, it felt difficult at the time. Man, am I so glad I did that. Because now I can show up and serve in the way that I'm supposed to. Okay, you guys? That's our job. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. We're not supposed to just be sitting back and letting life happen to us. That's not what we're designed to do, you guys. What we're designed to do is to make waves. What we're designed to do is to introduce truth into this world. That's what we're designed to do. And is it hard? Maybe as you're getting your sea legs. Is it necessary? Yeah. If you want to live out that passion, if you want to live out that purpose, if you want to make a positive impact into the world around you, then yeah, you need to suck it up, sister, right? We need to do this thing. We are called to do this work, okay? And half the time it doesn't even feel like work. But understand that when you see something as a failure, or when you're like embarrassed by something, or when you're like, oh my gosh, it's not working, you know, when you see that, that is a point of growth. It just means that the old version of you isn't going to that you require, or that the event requires a new and different version of yourself. You guys, that is growth. Okay? The old version of you can't do this. The new version of you does this. Okay? And that's why people see something as a failure. It's a failure to the old version of you. It's growth to the new version of you. Okay? You got to understand that. So there's that. Let me know what questions you guys have. Where are we at? 12 minutes? Awesome. We've got plenty of time for questions. Hello, Sheila. Evie, good morning. If we don't fail, we are not growing. We need to fail sometimes to move forward. Absolutely, 100%, you guys. Deb, hey, Martha, hey. Hey. Casey, live videos freak me out. Casey, let's talk about live videos and how they freak you out. What I would do if live videos freak you out, that means you should do them. But what I would do to practice is to set up a private group where it's just you and somebody else that you know in that group. Go live in that group, and there's nobody in there. You're not going live in front of anybody, but you're getting used to the muscle memory of going live. Because I could essentially, in this video right here, I could be going live to an empty group, or I could be going live in front of 1 million people. It makes no difference. My experience is the same. I'm talking to a camera, right? The experience is exactly the same, and the muscle memory needs to happen with the experience, okay? Angie, good morning, beautiful. Ah, shucks. Good morning to you. Christianna, I've been reframing failure into a lesson. That's absolutely what it is. That's absolutely what it is. It's growth. We have to stop looking at failure like it's this dreaded thing, right? I don't even think I want to use the word failure anymore. I think I only want to use the word growth, because that's really what it is. Okay, well, maybe my numbers aren't what they wanted to be, or what I wanted them to be. Like if somebody's talking about a failure that they had, maybe my numbers aren't what I wanted them to be. Okay, that's a point of growth. Awesome. So what did you do? What worked? What didn't work? What can you change? All right, now do it again with your new data. It's a point of growth. In any capacity, it's always, always, always a point of growth. Always. There's never a failure. The only failure is when you quit. Then that's a failure. Because you failed on yourself at that point. And you didn't just fail on yourself. I love you guys so much, but you didn't just fail for yourself. You failed for your family. You failed for your friends. You failed for the people that you were going to meet in this world, that you were going to help, that you were going to support, that you did not show up for. That is who you failed. You are the least of who you failed. I'm going to sit in silence on that one. You are the least of who you fail when you quit. Okay. Nadia, hi Martha, love from Indonesia. Oh man. Amanda, I work with not fully understanding how to do it. How to do what in specific? Because there's so many things you could do. Marcy, many trips on shoelaces. So many. Well, and you continue. I continue to trip on my shoelaces where I'm like, woo, I could have made a better choice. And here I go making a better choice, right? That's what it's always, it's a constant cycle, right? Mistakes are evidence you are trying. Absolutely. Grace, love this. Julie, exactly what I need to hear today. Oh, I love it. Abby, boom. Jackie, yes, boom. Failure equals growth in wolf's clothing. Yes. Megan, so good. Edison failed 1,000 times before perfecting the light bulb. You guys, you hear that story over and over again, right? Like not just about Edison, but about everyone. Everyone that has been successful in something. I mean, how many the author of Harry Potter, how many times did she send the book off and nobody picked it up? It took her a ton of times, right? Stallone with Rocky. Read that story on how long it took him to get that going, right? I think it was Da Vinci. No, not Da Vinci. Who was it? It wasn't Da Vinci. I can't remember who it was right now. Wasn't even popular in his own lifetime. It was after, and I can't remember who it is right now. I'm so sorry, you guys. It was an artist like Da Vinci, like that era and that weight to their name. But they weren't even popular within their lifetime. It wasn't until after they passed away where they gained notoriety. They would have looked at their lives, if they were like people that are just failure minded, as a failure, and they may not have continued to go, but then after they died, that's where it happened. Okay, you guys? Those stories are everywhere. I dare you to go find a successful person who has not failed probably over 20 times at least. All right? That's the kind of stick-with-itness that a successful person is going to have. And really, in my opinion, that only requires confidence, okay? Which is why I'm teaching HBR to everybody, because it gives you the confidence to know this system works. So you have the confidence this is going to work. You just need to work out the details of what you're going to offer, of what it looks like specifically for you. But you have the confidence that the structure works, right? That's what HBR is all about, you guys. You don't need to trip on your shoelaces figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Since I said that, I need to say this real quick. If you're not in HBR yet, you guys, my promise, my guarantee is that you're going to make 10 grand a month within the first 6 months, or I'm going to work with you until you do. If you're interested in having a conversation about it, this is not a sales weird conversation. It's just a chat. What you're going to do is message my business page, Livin the Dream with Martha, message it the words case study. We'll have a quick chat. I'll invite you in if I think I'm able to get the results for you, okay? Which 99% of the people I'm able to get the results for. The only people I can't get results for, in my opinion, are people that are not open to seeing things a different way. Because quite frankly, I teach things a different way, all right? So a way that I don't know works. So there's that. All right, you guys, I am going to go ahead and pop out of here. It's almost 20 minutes. I can't go over 20 minutes. You guys have the best day. I will see you later. Bye-bye.